everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Urge Artifacts, where we review and unbox collectibles and other hobby-related items. My name is RJ, and today we're going to be jumping right into it, and we are going to be going over this. The Rise of the Dragon book by George R.R. Martin. This is the illustrated history of the Targaryen dynasty, with the new House of the Dragon series just ending, and what an ending it was. I've been chomping at the bit to get further into Game of Thrones and get into a little bit more of the background of House of the Dragon, so I made this purchase. What we're going to be doing today is we are going to be taking a look at this book, but what we're also going to do is be looking at it and comparing it with George R. R. Martin's other history book, The World of Ice and Fire. Okay, I've had this one for a while now. We're gonna compare them, at least aesthetically. We won't go through House of the Dragon much, but you know, if you have House of the Dragon and you're interested in getting Rise of the Dragon, you'll get a little comparison in what they look like next to each other. So let's take a look. Okay, here we go. Here are the two books side by side. The first thing you'll notice is they are in the same exact format with George R. R. Martin's name at the top, the two additional authors underneath it, and then The World of Ice and Fire, The Untold History of Westeros and the Game of Thrones, and The Rise of the Dragon, an illustrated history of the Targaryen dynasty. Volume 1. Very interesting that's Volume 1. I hope we get some additional volumes later on, and I believe that might be because this book doesn't actually take you all the way through the Targaryen dynasty. When we go through the table of contents, I will probably see that, but I did read about that beforehand. First thing I notice is that the books are the same height, so that's good for being next to each other on the shelf. One thing that's different is that The World of Ice and Fire is almost like spongy. There's a softness to it, which is actually pretty cool. I noticed this back in the day when I got it. I don't know exactly what it's from, but the Rise of the Dragon doesn't have that. It's very flat here. Obviously, you can see the both glossed, indented emblems, the three-headed dragon, and I believe that's probably Balerion the Black Dread. If we look at these side by side, the spine format is also the same, so also good for having them on the shelf. And then when you go on the back, it is pretty much the same format as well, with Aegon over here, along with the Stark King who knelt, and it looks like maybe this is, I don't even know who those two are, but I won't guess, but two Targaryen dragon riders. When it comes to the length of the books, 326 pages for The World of Ice and Fire versus 351 pages for The Rise of the Dragon. And when looking at them, I mean, they're very close, so you can imagine them being pretty much the same. So there you go. There's the outside of the two books. And now let's take a look at the inside. Okay, so for this part, I mean, we're doing the review on The Rise of the Dragon because we are pumped and focusing on the Targaryens and the epic conclusion to Season 1 of House of the Dragon. So let's take a look inside. First thing we see Aegon and his two sisters around the infamous table that we've seen in both shows. Now what we're going to do here is we're not going to look through the entire book, but we will take a peek. We'll look through the table of contents and just give you enough where if you're interested in purchasing this book, to go along with The World of Ice and Fire, or you're just interested because you love the show and you want to learn more, then you'll have a better idea if you want to buy it or not. This is a pretty cool picture with Blackfire and Dark Sister. This is the sword that Daemon has in the show, and this is the sword that the king, Viserys, has in the show. And these are probably the various crowns. In the show, we did see Aegon the Conqueror's crown put on Aegon II in the second to last episode, as well as Viserys' crown. I mean, how good was that scene with Rhaenyra getting crowned in the old Crown of the King? That was very cool. Now we have Balerion, Volume 1 once again, and in looking at the contents, exactly what I thought is this is only going to go a portion through the Targaryen dynasty, not the whole thing. So they'll probably have future volumes on that. We do see that we are going to go through the conquest of the Seven Kingdoms, the reign of Aegon the Conqueror, the reign of Aenys, the reign of Maegor, Jaharis. Jaharis is who we started the show with when they were having the vote on who his successor would be. The reign of Viserys, who we pretty much painstakingly saw his entire reign and his health decline over the course of the series. The reign of Aegon II and the reign of Aegon III, and I won't expand further on that because I do not want to go into any spoiler territory, but you can see right there the Dance of the Dragons. And myself, I won't be reading this book past the Dance of the Dragons because I'm hoping to not get any further spoilers about what happens either. You can obviously buy and read the book Fire and Blood that goes through everything in a lot more historical detail, but you might just want to get a shorter version of that and get a lot of cool pictures. And then if that's the case, this is for you. I think I just saw Cyrax. And this looks like the tournament that was in episode 1 of the show. So here we are, a quick skim through, very quick skim through, just to wet the whistle. So there you have it, guys. The book Rise of the Dragon, very fitting after the conclusion of the House of the Dragon series on HBO. If you're a big fan of Game of Thrones or even just the new series, I think this is a great book for you. The pictures alone are going to be really exciting to look through, but obviously also the lore and the background in more depth. Now that we've gotten a good overview of what precedes the Dance of Dragons, I think this is going to be a good supplement in that long 2-year wait before the next show. And if you've watched Game of Thrones and you haven't gotten it yet, I think this World of Ice and Fire book is excellent. I went through this in pretty good detail and really enjoyed it. So I would suggest this book too. If you're a collector of things like I am, it's not only a good source of information for Game of Thrones, but it's a great piece to display on the shelf. Stay tuned for upcoming videos, and until then, keep on collecting, keep on having fun, and have a great day. Thank you.